And you guys know I got my girl sitting next to me, which is
Coco,
Keisha.
And we got our very special guest, which is
You know.
So the topic on today's forum is racism. So tying into what we was talking about previously, Koa.
well, my question was, what's the solution? What you think the solution is? What do you think, what can you bring for our people? What word can you bring for our people? Words, not word, but words can you bring for our people?
Perfect. That's a great question. Me personally, I'm a student, so I'm going to convey what our teachers have taught me, and I'm just going to pass it on. Now, when you want to talk about solutions, let's just take the gloves off. We got an enemy, right, with white supremacy. That does not mean all white people,
Right.
but there are a large group of white people who are dedicated to mistreating us, subjugating us, and literally taking our lives.
Right.
And we can't be scared of death. I respect all black people's religions, but there's no turning the cheek. All that shit is done, all right? Because they taking soft targets. All right, so
they're
in
killing
military,
our babies.
And when you're talking in military terms, and this is the one thing about white supremacy, what black people got to understand. They only understand two languages: military science and political science, or political language, or military language. All right, so when you're talking about in military science, they taking soft targets, which is women and kids. That's when you take the gloves off.
Right.
All right, so for all the black men who, professing to be gangsters and thugs and savages, those days is about to be cut short because
Absolutely.
ain't nobody proving that they gangsters or savages as far as I'm concerned.
There it
Because all
is.
these guns that we got and that all these gangsters and savages got, I have yet. I mean, I can name like on one hand how many so-called real niggas have really done something to a white supremacist when it comes down to it. You see what I'm saying? And that's
I agree.
This shit makes us look like cowards. For
It
real.
do.
You see what
They
I'm
should
saying?
be
Because-
afraid to even mess
Yeah,
with
because see, we all know certain groups of black men who will, kill another brother in front of his baby mother or whatever over money, over disrespect, and all of that. But when 12 pull up,
They
these niggas
humble.
can't find none of
They
these
humble.
30-round clips or
They
none of
humble.
this shit. This shit is insane to me, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about all of our brothers that are
Right.
in that quote unquote lifestyle, but that's our warrior
Most of
class.
them.
That's our
Right,
warrior
right.
class.
Yeah.
If they can't step up, then we got to call them out. Like all that rapping, if you rapping all that gangster shit, but you ain't doing nothing when these crackers pull up and they, I mean, I done seen. What was it down in? It was in Florida like 2 years ago. They had the cop. It was a young girl. She was like 8 or 9. She was coming from a pool. He snatched her up, threw her on the ground, put his
Yes,
neck on
yes,
her,
I know
put
exactly
his
what you-
knee on her
yep.
neck. Just a young black girl.
And people
Nigga,
standing around watching.
Yeah,
They was
watching.
friends. She got family members and friends, probably so-called real niggas. You know what I'm saying? In her
Watching.
family. Where the fuck is these niggas at? Like, see, that's what I'm saying. But and here's another thing too. A lot of our people get caught up with this non-violent shit, and they think we supposed to respect the law. How we gonna respect the law if the law don't respect us?
Well, you can't
Right.
apply the nonviolent movement in today's times because it's way too aggressive.
They're using violence against us.
Right.
Yeah.
They're using violence against us. And people can look at this and say, oh, I'm advocating violence. Look, I'm advocating survival. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You kick in my door and I got my
I got
children,
my
my
kids, yeah.
family, and you trying to harm us. You know what I'm saying? I got to defend myself. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
That's just
it's
what
no
the
turning
young-
the cheek.
Right, too.
So,
That's
right.
do you
It's no
agree
t-
with us teaching our children, our family, how to shoot,
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
how to
Absolutely.
That's
bring
why
that,
we need
how to bring that work and knowledge on that though.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Every black family, every black man, woman, and child that don't
Pretty
have
girl
no felony
shooters.
need to own a weapon.
Yes.
Need to
Very
own
true.
a pistol,
Pretty girl
a
shooters.
shotgun, and an assault rifle. That's the first
That's
thing.
just like the young
That's the
lady.
first
Where
thing.
was she from? The young lady that was in her home with a gun was her and her son. What was that in Baltimore?
The most recent
the
one?
most recent, yeah.
Oh,
Atiana Johnson.
no,
The
you're
young-
talking
was
about
that
a while
Atlanta?
ago.
Was that
Oh,
Atlanta?
it was a while back.
She
The
talking
young black
about the
girl.
girl, the young
In
black
Baltimore?
girl.
In Baltimore?
In Baltimore.
Oh, when they pulled her
She was
over.
on point.
Yeah.
No, the one that was in
She
her
got
home.
pulled over. She got
She
pulled
started
over.
her being pulled over. She had
But
her
she
son
got-
in the
They
car.
came into her home. She
Yeah.
said it. She said they're
They're
going to
gonna
come to my house
Yeah.
and they're going to kill me.
She said it.
She said it.
And she sat in her house with
But
And
she
they
was
still
right there.
didn't
Yeah.
have our people wake up.
She
That's
wasn't
what I'm
coward.
talking about.
Yeah, she wasn't no coward. I forgot her name. Yeah, she was.
I know she was light skinned. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was crazy. The dude that taught her, because she was studying Moore's Law. You know what I'm saying? She was
Yeah.
studying Moore's Law. And sovereignty and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Which is respectable. We need to know that. But
We do need to know it.
We need to
the
know all the laws.
The dude that taught her that, I heard he ran out the window when the cops came.
Wow.
Like he crawled out the
That's
window.
scared.
But see,
Like, he
that's
was on some coward
but that's
shit.
the thing I was talking about earlier. Stay woke or us being woke is a trend versus us being really woke. Like
Exactly.
we're quick to record, we're quick to say, "Oh, this is what's
when
going
you are,
down."
But the whole thing behind it is when you are woke and you say that you're woke, it's activism behind it.
Right.
You can't say you woke
But it's
and you're
not
not putting
only
action behind
being
it.
woke is actually a spiritual thing. Okay,
And it is.
A lot of people can say they're woke. You're not woke until you understand that third eye when it opens, and a lot of people cannot fucking take when they third eye open because you're going to see shit, and I've experienced it plenty of times. My third eye has been open since I was fucking 5 years old. I know what the third eye can do. And if your third eye ain't open, you're not woke. If you haven't experienced
you're right,
that
you're right.
experience, I would say the third
had
eye
just
is
a
like
small
you're on is like you're on PCP, motherfucking what you call it, acid and some more shit, but you're actually seeing shit for what it really is.
It's like
And
an
you
out-of-body
gonna-
experience.
It's an out of body experience, and you're going to see things for the truth is going to be in front of your face. And it's beyond the truth, and I can't even go explain it because if you haven't experienced it,
You ain't gonna
you
understand.
ain't gonna
Yeah, no,
understand.
Right.
I can't speak it in words, so you cannot say you've been woke if that third eye has not been open. So it's not no revolution. It's not none of that. The third eye is beyond. So that's a whole nother subject. But woke is a serious thing. And a lot of people need to experience that. It's a lot of ways you can open it, but you got to be accepting to it. And you got to have no fear to it. That's why a lot of kids can experience it. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no fear.
Yeah, and they ain't got no filter
We're not
either.
born. We're not born
don't have
with
no
fear.
filter either.
Fear is just put
Kids
into
have no
us.
filter
Right.
either.
They have
Very
no
true.
filter. Yeah,
filter.
but like you were saying, it's a lot. Like I said, it goes back to the jump squad. We need that. I'm sorry. I'm standing for it.
I agree with that.
I'm standing for defending ourselves. I'm standing for
Protecting ourselves.
Yeah. So
It's
but,
real critical out here. I mean, it's too much police brutality that's going on in today's time. Where how can you ignore it?
Exactly.
And then back to Brother Polite.
Let's
I
say
don't know
one
if
thing.
y'all
Let's
know
say
who
one-
Brother Polite is.
I know who Brother Polite
His
is.
daughter recently was almost abducted by
To the
a
human
white.
trafficking.
I don't know if it was human
'Cause that's the
trafficking.
new
We don't know
slavery.
what it is, but I'm sure it probably was. But a white guy was trying to get her in his car.
Probably so.
And everybody had went around and searching for, she was scared. She ran. She was smart because her
got
daddy.
away. She got away.
She got away. She was smart because she had that knowledge from her father.
Right.
And
You know
she
who the
got
guy
away.
is?
I don't know if they know who the guy is. I don't know if they ever found him or not. But we really have to get our kids into.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. I
Right.
mean, yeah, that's completely unacceptable. Yeah. Now, as far as solutions and protecting ourselves, we know we need to do that, and then we need to unify whatever little resources we got. You see what I'm saying? We need to definitely do that, and we need to. First of all, as far as police brutality, this is not police brutality. What's going on with us? Because these are not police.
Okay.
These are race soldiers.
Yeah.
They race driven. Okay.
They're race soldiers disguised as police.
And they're not all
we need
white.
to understand this.
They're not all white.
Well, the majority of them are.
Majority,
the ones
yeah.
that are not are coons.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They've been
But they're
brainwashed.
race soldiers disguised as police because there's nothing in the police manual that says you kill anybody unarmed.
Right.
Period. And there's nothing in the police manual that says you kill based on race. They're killing based on race. These are state-sanctioned killings based on race. And then we got to say fuck the media, because the media is a white propaganda arm.
Absolutely.
NBC, ABC, Fox, CNN, I don't care what
you name it,
news
they all
you talking
are.
about. It's white supremacist propaganda. Okay, they're lying or they telling half truths. These are race-driven, state-sanctioned killings, and we got to treat them as such. And we have to react, because we're reactive people. But at this point, we got to be proactive. Do anybody know who Micah Johnson was? Does that name ring a bell?
No, it doesn't.
Micah Johnson was a young brother. This was, I think, 2 years ago. Anyway, make a long story short, Micah Johnson, he let that metal fly. He killed about 5 white supremacist cops, and he was ex-military, and he was held up with a sniper rifle and like some artillery, and he just let loose at them. They was in the group, and he let loose at them. Killed like 5 of them. They had to send a robot in there to get him.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
And they blew the robot up because he wasn't. He was like.
But but this was retaliation for something else, though.
It was retaliation for.
I know exactly what you're talking about. This was like 2-3 years ago, right?
Yeah. Micah
Where was
Johnson.
this at?
It was. I want to say.
This it was a racially motivated
it was retaliation
event.
though.
Yeah.
I want to say it was
and
Dallas.
they had the small robot to go into the earth.
Say it was Dallas, but the point I'm trying to make is this. He was a student of Neely Fuller, and see, there's a concept in the book, in the code book, that's called maximum independent. I'm trying to figure out, but anyway, what it means is that when you feel like, or when a victim of racism, which is we are, feels like you cannot get any justice, you commit maximum compensatory action. Maximum extreme compensatory action, which means you take the life of a confirmed white supremacist, and then you take your own life. Maybe not voluntarily, but like the way Micah Johnson did. He knew he was going to die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But he died with a cause.
He ran the manifesto. He told his mother. He said they're not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? And until this. And then there was another dude. This was about 6 years ago, Chris Dorner. This was in California, in Los Angeles, I think, to be exact. And he was on the police force, the Los Angeles police force. And we all know Los Angeles PD been corrupt for years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One of the biggest. Maybe next to Chicago as far as corrupt.
So, off topic real quick. Do you think that they played a part in the Nipsey Hussle die?
Absolutely. I think, I think the white supremacists killed Nipsey.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because Nipsey was doing big things.
He was for his community.
Like serious things. You know what I'm saying? They just hired the little dude shitty cuz to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
like,
I don't think they hired them though. I think they forced them.
Right.
I think they hired him.
I think they strong-armed them.
No, I think they gave him. They said we'll pay you this amount of money.
Right.
You know why I
And-
think they strong-armed them? Because they tried to say that Nipsey Hussle people came in and killed his family. But I think they did that.
Yeah, I think
that was just to put out.
That
That was just if they did say that, they just put that out there.
I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
the streets ain't said that.
I think that they did. They killed the dude's family.
Yeah, I think so
they
too.
Did that. I think they
so too.
strong-armed that nigga because if you had seen his
like, do
face,
this or else?
Yeah.
right, do this or else, we gonna get rid of your family. And he probably was like, nah, and they killed one of them motherfuckers.
Yep.
And he was like, fuck this, I gotta do this. You got to think they strong-armed that motherfucker and made him.
I
do
mean,
it.
well, see, we dealing with COINTELPRO 2.0. I don't know if y'all know what the term
If they paid
COINTELPRO
him
is. That's what the
right for
FBI.
it.
That's what the FBI. That's the FBI program.
We
J.
ain't heard
Edgar
nothing else
Hoover.
about the case, have we?
Nope.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
Because
I
they
we haven't.
strong-armed
Everything
that
is under
nigga,
wraps.
yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna make sure he get what he need to get.
Yeah.
But that's gonna be under the radar.
Yeah, but
yeah.
all of that sounds like that's COINTELPRO. They took down the Black Panthers with COINTELPRO. COINTELPRO was an FBI program by J. Edgar Hoover J. Edgar Hoover said this shit. Like he literally said, we have to stop the Black Messiah or the resurrection of a Black Messiah. He phone tapped every single quote unquote black leader, Black Panthers, all of that. Like this is all documented. This
Yeah,
ain't nothing
and that's how they
they
took
can't
down
even
the Black
squirm
Panthers.
out of this
Yep.
if we start calling it out because it's all documented. And J. Edgar Hoover was a homosexual. You know what I'm saying? Truth be told. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like and then another thing, J. Edgar Hoover. And see, this is the thing when it comes to the 9 areas of activity, how we all dominated. You know what I'm saying? J. Edgar Hoover, he he started the FBI. Okay, the FBI was started because white European criminals, Italians, Jews, were going across state lines and committing all these crimes.
Right.
So there was no federal agency to enforce
So
that
they needed a
across
task
state
force.
lines.
Right, okay.
So he said, okay, we need to create a federal agency that can go across state lines, chase these criminals, chase, you know what I'm saying, John Dillinger, Babyface Nelson. That's why they was started. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they made the transition into coming after us because it was all planned. You see what I'm saying? It was all planned. But see, if we don't know this history, then we look at these situations that we in and like, oh, damn,
And we don't have no understanding
it's the
of
same
it.
shit
And it's
over
the
and over
same
again.
thing.
It's
That's
the
what I'm
same shit
saying.
over and over
It's
again.
the same thing.
It's the same thing over and over again. We gotta take the gloves off.
Goes
though.
back to resources, okay? You're one of the resources because you're a student right
We
now.
gotta start
But
finessing
this
white
is what
people.
I'm saying. Because we're trying to figure out resources.
So we use the same mind control tricks, right?
I'm saying
Right.
you're one of the resources right now. We're thinking of all the resources that we can have for our people when we are all our own resources.
Start businesses and
We're
buy
our
black.
own resources.
Well, I've been a big advocate for that.
I'm saying far as knowledge, because knowledge first. We got to have the knowledge first in order to build our shit up. So it has to start with our resources, which we are our own resources.
We are.
Absolutely.
And we're digging and looking for the fucking resource, and it's right here. Like we're speaking on it right now. You're saying some shit that I ain't know about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That a lot of our people don't know about.
We need to know.
You know what I'm saying? We need to know,
That's
but a lot
what
of
I'm
people
saying.
don't know how to find that. You found him. What was his name again that wrote the book? Nelly
Fuller.
Fuller. A lot of people don't know about Nelly Fuller.
They need to
You know
know.
what I'm
They
saying?
need to
A
know,
lot of
'cause I'ma read
kids
that
don't
book.
know about Nelly Fuller.
They need to
And that's
know.
why I was saying about the movie, the Jump Out Squad.
Drop Squad.
Jump Squad. That needs to be a reality check. And these little motherfuckers that's on the street, that's what I'm saying. We can get a motherfucking nurse. She know how to stick an IV in motherfuckers.
They just need a little
Get
bit
them
of
some motherfucking- a little bit of
some mental stability. Yeah, that's all they need. That's all they need.
You know what I'm saying? We're our own resource of knowledge first. To build their knowledge, that's an important thing. And then all the other things, yeah, you got to feed them. Shit, we can come together. If we're a family, we can feed millions of us. So it can go a long way. We don't have to. It's going to cost, but hey,
Gotta make the sacrifice.
it has to be a sacrifice for everything.
Absolutely.
But so, what do you feel about that, though?
I mean, like I said, I feel like we're gonna have to hit a precipice, meaning that like precipice is a concept where a person reaches a point like you at the edge of a cliff.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So
I
like
agree with that.
we gotta reach a precipice. And obviously we haven't reached it yet because it's still a lot of
But it's coming.
It's definitely coming. I give you a prime example. A good friend of mine, I told her that I'm going live, and when it comes to this topic, she said, well, I'm not gonna tune in on that, but I'm a support and I'm a like. And I said, well, it's interesting. But that's not uncommon with our people. They don't want to talk about white supremacy or
Very
racism.
true.
No, they don't.
Nope.
They don't want to talk about
Because
it.
we wanna
because they
live
get
in this
paid by white
fantasy.
people.
Yeah, I was
first.
just about to say that.
They
Yep.
get paid by white people first. Then, the truth be told, a lot of our people are overly religious and they worship white people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just to be honest. You know what I'm saying? And
That's true. I believe that.
we don't
believe
have to
that.
go down that rabbit hole right now. But
Man,
you know
that's
what
a
I'm saying?
rabbit hole to dig in.
Hey, you see
I'm
what
trying to
they
tell
did?
you.
You see what they did with the court case with Amber Gaga?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's pathology. That's pathology. The definition of pathology is a mental illness. We have a collective pathology. Anytime you
I have
hugging,
never seen a judge come from out of her chambers to
done.
go and hug
That's
anyone.
insane.
I've never
yeah.
seen that in the history ever.
she should be like
was
disbarred from being
they
a
was
judge.
fixing her head.
Completely
You know,
like
one thing about
what?
judges, I've been to court too many times.
I'm disgusted.
Any of my men who've been to, y'all know, when you're in court, the judge
Everything
gotta
looked like
be
it was staged.
unbiased. The
Right.
judge has to be unbiased. It's the
Absolutely.
law.
I'm
No
disgusted.
personal
She
attachment.
showed clear bias.
She had a luxury.
Even though she
bed
already
for it.
sentenced a woman, that's
Luxury.
bias.
Did they
You
give
hugging
this
her?
bitch a motherfucking
But you only got 10
bath
years.
afterwards? Did they bathe her after?
They was fixing her head.
I mean, they did it all.
Everything.
I've never, so I can only imagine the treatment she gonna get while she's incarcerated. I mean, she gonna be in the penthouse, huh?
Exactly.
You know,
She
I
ain't gonna be
believe
in there
that
that long.
vengeance always comes from God. I believe that.
Absolutely.
Strongly believe that. But I must say, That bitch ain't deserve none of that.
Right.
And I must say, I would have been like, can I hug her, please?
And probably would
And I
have.
would have stabbed that bitch.
Choke the fuck out of her. Like, that's crazy.
I would have stabbed that bitch.
All of it.
I would have.
We would have been cellmates.
I would have been ready to go down.
We would have been cellmates.
Say, yeah, she took an innocent man from a black family. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
insane. But we have to understand that, like you said this in the last segment. A lot of our people we're so jealous of each other that we'll sabotage each other.
So let me ask you this: do you think a part of the propaganda is homosexuality?
Absolutely, 100%. And
why do you say that?
I can prove it.
Okay.
Well, here's another one of our great master teachers, rest in peace, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, out of Washington, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote a book called The ISIS Papers. She wrote this in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Everything she said in this book is coming true right now, especially in reference to homosexuality and the effeminization of black men. She said in the 80s that white supremacy was going to have black men wearing dresses. Mm-hmm. She wrote it in the 80s. What we see in the late 2000s, these rappers wearing dresses.
They are.
Right.
It wasn't no coincidence. You see what I'm saying? Because what she did, she went to Germany and she studied the Third Reich. She studied the Nazis and the Jews.
Okay.
It's pretty much the same situation we're
Yep.
in.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And then she just juxtaposed it to our situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing playing out.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like, I mean, I'm not a scientist, but I believe homosexuality, lesbianism. I'm not going to judge none of our people because we all have friends and families that are a part of that lifestyle.
Right.
But it's definitely a sexual confusion.
I
It's
think
definitely
that,
sexual
like you
confusion.
said, J. Edgar Hoover, he was a homosexual. I think that has a lot to do with dominance. Dominating someone. Like a dog will fuck another male dog.
Right.
And it's not personal. It's because this is my property. You're coming here in my space.
Right.
I'm going to show you that I'm the ruler. You know what I'm saying?
You do
So I'm
as
going
I
to fuck
say.
you. In prison, they don't consider that being gay as me fucking you.
Gay for the state.
You know what I'm saying?
But
I'm
it's
not
just-
getting any
it's
pleasure.
gay.
I'm telling you who the
Still
fuck
gay.
I am.
It's gay.
It still is.
Still gay.
I'm telling you the mental part of it.
Behind it, right?
The mental part behind it is because I'm the man. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you more than I can tell you. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what my take is on that. But it goes even deeper, like he said, to turning our men to softer men. You know,
So we
it's
emasculating.
breaking
Yeah, it's just. I mean, that's just one weapon of racism is that issue. But I think we gotta stay focused on the main issue, and that is the overt attack against us. So, like, if I was to just give my personal opinion, all melanated people with some type of resources need to be trying to become completely independent from working for white people. All the way. Like, if you can manage it, that's what you need to do. Because right now, in the political sphere, there's a conversation about reparations.
Right.
And there's a big push for it. But
Do you agree with that?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because nothing can make right what 298 years of chattel slavery
Right.
and then Jim Crow
Right.
has done. Nothing can make that right. I mean, mass incarceration, nothing can make that
yes.
right. No amount of money.
Right.
But the reason why they in power is because of money. There was an article I read about 7 years ago in Forbes. They tried to estimate how much money they tried to estimate how much money the United States got off the cotton and the sugarcane slave trade.
Right.
It was in the trillions. They couldn't even estimate it. They had to adjust it because of inflation. But it was in the trillions. Now where all that money go?
Right.
We ain't got none of it. You see what I'm saying? So they just stole it. Imagine if you had a slave for 10 years.
Yeah, they stole it and they gave it to
How
their
much
people.
could you accomplish if you had somebody working for you for free for 10
Man,
years?
I accomplished so much shit.
What?
And all I gotta do is run my motherfucking mouth
That's
while they
it.
do the
Tell you
work.
what to
That's it.
Write this shit right here, nigga.
Yep.
I said
Exactly.
blah, blah, blah.
You gonna be
and
on
that'll be a
top of the
nigga I
world.
learned. I taught
Yeah,
how to write.
but that's how they capitalized off us in the first place because they realized how much we were making them money.
Yeah.
So you expand it.
But my
I
thing
can buy
is-
this, I can purchase
Right,
this land,
but
and
it's
I'm gonna
still-
get you to work
but
for
it's
free.
still
And I'm gonna sell you into this shit.
It's still happening.
You're
It's still
right.
happening.
You see how hard it is for us to get our own to support us, but they'll go out there and buy all.
Absolutely.
It's the same. It's still the same.
Yeah, it's
Period.
pathology.
It's still the same.
Well, a lot of people are into that label.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They into that label.
And they'll pay
Instead
all
of
of
making
that
a
for
new
that.
label or buying a label that's made by our people, we'd rather buy
And
the
that's what
old
we do. The
label
first thing we'll
that don't
say
give a
is
fuck, right?
that's
They don't
too
give a fuck
much.
about us.
But you'll go out here and
Yeah,
spend
exactly.
$200 and
That's too much.
$300
Yeah.
on what the white
I'm
person made,
sorry.
but you won't support your brother or your sister. Oh, that's too much because you expect it to be free.
Or they say it's low quality.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I love
They'll think it's low
I
quality.
love the Gucci. But look, remember how we used to get the Gucci bags? and
Yeah,
shit, bitch?
all
I will
that.
never fucking buy Gucci.
All
I've
that.
never
don't give
worn,
a
to be honest
fuck.
with you.
But I'm
Fuck
not
y'all and y'all Gucci glasses. Fuck y'all and y'all Gucci
you
bags.
getting older and mature.
And
like
mature, right.
Yeah,
your
right.
mindset is different.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
when
your
you got more
mindset
responsibilities, you can give a fuck less about a Gucci bag,
A
a Louis
Target
bag.
bag is
and
so
listen,
great.
it works all the fucking same.
Exactly. It works all the same. But some people are really stuck on that brand, and because they got it, they still gonna wear it.
Well,
and
they
and it was crazy
sensationalize
because
off of
before they brought out, what was the thing that they brought out about Gucci? I
the
saw
blackface.
the blackface on the coat, but it was the blackface
That was
been out.
Montclair.
Right.
The blackface had been out on the coats and shit. And everybody was buying it. And nobody noticed that it was blackface on the coat. But I did. I was
I
like,
did.
what the fuck?
Oh,
I was
but-
like, what the fuck is this? They got this shit in here. But it ain't come out until years later. What was it that recently that made everybody
For Gucci?
Yeah.
Yeah, with sparkle.
It wasn't the blackface coat.
No, it
Wasn't that?
No, okay, hold on.
I
You're
can't
right.
remember
It wasn't
exactly
the,
what it
It
was,
wasn't
but
the
I know
blackface coat.
T.I. had did a boycott.
But what?
She said what sparkle. That's a good
What
question.
sparked it? It was
It wasn't
something that sparked
definitely
it.
wasn't that.
It wasn't the blackface coat, but I was like, hold up.
It was the blackface though. I think it was something.
That came later. The blackface coat.
Well, that's when all of them, like all the big labels, started getting called out. Who was partaking in the whole blackface thing? It was Montclair came next because they had it on the
Montclair,
coat.
yeah.
But I think it started off with Gucci, and I think they had like a purse or something. I think it was like a purse that they had, and it had like some type of blackface on it. It was something that symbolized slavery.
The,
Can-
see,
can-
see
can we
how
agree?
see how that chemtrails kicked in real quick, had us forget about what the fuck Gucci did real
No
quick.
bullshit.
That's right, though. That's
See how
right,
that
though.
chemtrails
It
came in
changed
real
the whole fucking
What the
narrative
fuck
real
they
quick.
sprayed in fucking Greenbelt, Maryland that made me
sprayed all
forget
that
that
shit.
shit real quick. But I'm just saying, y'all know where I'm getting at.
right.
But the I know the blackface coat came late, and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? And motherfuckers are still wearing.
I was
that
just about to
shit
say,
and
but you
don't
know,
give a fuck
but you
to
know
this
what? But you
day.
know what's sad about that story? They did all of that. Some people was even against it. Was like, well, that's not your blackface.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
I heard a brother tell me.
What?
You see what Floyd Mayweather did, but I heard
Oh
a brother-
yeah, he had the whole Gucci getup.
What?
He had the boots, the coat. He had a little male handbag. He had all that shit.
And see that right there, that's a traitor.
Yeah,
That's a traitor.
he's
And
a
that's
buffoon.
exactly
That's a
why
traitor.
we're still where we're at.
That's
Yeah.
a traitor.
That's
You're right.
That's
You're
a
right.
crab. That's
You're
the
right,
crab
Keisha.
at the bottom,
Exactly
grabbing
right.
like about 4 motherfucking
Right.
fins and shit,
Right.
pulling them
Look,
down.
look at how many followers he has.
Yeah.
And for him to do that and say, all right, well, I'm still going to do this, you're going to have so many people following behind that nigga.
Yeah,
That's
but-
going to do
but
the
he's
same
ignorant,
thing.
though.
But his
He
followers
got
are
influence,
going
like
to
Keisha said.
follow
He has
him.
He has
Influence.
influence, and he does.
They're going to follow him.
And that's why we need the.
And that's
Jump
why
Squad
we're-
to come out.
Snatch his ass.
Stick on the line.
You know who we need to
He
jump
little.
squad to
Nigga,
come out?
But we can get him.
Put him in the boxing ring with the book
Five.
from Nearly Fuller.
Y'all.
ASAP. Put his ass.
I know who else we need in Nelly. You know who else we need to get knowledge to? I'm sorry, Kanye
I
West.
knew you was about to say that, yo.
Yeah.
And I
he's
must
low.
say,
He's pussy whipped.
this. Wait a minute, hold up.
His last interview?
He is so using.
confused.
He's
I'm
so
confused.
using Jesus.
Yeah, he's
to get
blowing me with
us.
that. He's blowing me
He's
with that.
using Jesus. He's using Jesus to go beyond. And a lot of ministers use
That's to
Jesus.
win the black people back over.
And it's so
But he
sad.
know
He
not.
fucked up so bad.
But he's not. Have you watched the interview?
Oh, no.
That he did with Big Boy?
I didn't see that interview,
Girl.
but I must say
I'm
I
not
did
interested in
see-
his antics.
It's
anymore.
confusing as hell.
I heard the same thing.
And if you don't, I don't know if y'all remember, he said he's going to become president one day.
And that's what he's pushing for.
Building his followers.
Yeah, he is.
He's building his people. So when it's time for Kanye Day,
Oh, they're gonna be right behind him,
that.
right?
it's gonna be a Kanye
Right,
Day.
right.
That's the next topic.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
This was a good topic, y'all.
Absolutely,
This was so interesting, man. Thanks again, Five, for coming on today.
Absolutely.